31, we're going to reconvene back into open session. Going on to F, announcement of actions taken in closed session, none at this time. G, comments from the public. I think we have one, Javier Moreno.
How you doing?
Thank you, Mr.
I do. Hopefully I do. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, members of the public. My name is Javier Moreno. I am the co-founder of the Calexico School Safety Coalition, and for a couple of months we've been working with the Mr. Gonzalez right before the summer, and our intention is to have a community forum and invite the public September the 13th, at 6 p.m. at Calexico City Hall to address the national crisis of active shooter and emotional health. And I'm here to formally invite the public and formally invite the board members. There is, but I communicated with Mr. Gonzalez through email, and he has been informed of this. And I believe we're having somebody showing up from the school district.
You'll have representatives from the district.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions for me?
Maybe Mr. Moreno would be best, but as far as Calexico PD, my understanding is that they'll be
Yes,
present
we
as well.
have, the intention is a committee forum. We have an expert panels, which have confirmed already to this date. We have the Calexico Police Department, the Calexico Fire Department, the Imperial County District Attorney's Office, the Hebron Memorial Healthcare District, the Maya Coalition, Imperial County Behavioral Health, and we yet to confirm with Dr. Marta Reyes, who's a clinical psychologist, who also going to be there. And we have Senator Wessel's office and Assemblyman Mary Garcia. Hopefully they'll show up. And they have until August the 31st to confirm. And basically what it is it's a dialogue with the community, so we can engage the representatives there in the community, and so it's a cooperative effort between the community and the leaders. It's not to point the finger or any defect, because everybody's doing already an excellent job at all levels of government, including the school district. It's just so we can have the parents' involvement, so we can the students are aware of that every adult in their life has their back.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
F, correction, H, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action. H3. H2. So you want H2 and H3 for discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I move we approve H1 and H4.
So motion by Mr. Romero to approve H1 and H4, seconded by Mr. Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please state aye. 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 All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Jr., Castillo, and myself. So moving on to H2.
Can someone just tell us what we're doing in this stream?
So, just, this one is for the EduPoint Conference. This conference is held on a yearly basis, if I'm not mistaken, in Los Angeles. This year it's being held in Scottsdale. So we're sending 3 of our staff members who work specifically with the Synergy program, which is the program that we use here in the district. And my understanding also is that we use it along with seabeds as well for reporting and CalPads. So it's imperative that the staff that we send to this training are very well trained, because all the information that is required by the state is basically information that's going through the system.
And who's going? You said 3 staff members. So
And
are we talking about
Mr.
IT?
Perez? Yeah.
Classified,
IT people?
classified.
Yeah, it's good evening, board. My name is Eduardo Perez, technology coordinator, and the staff member that is going to this training is the staff that mainly works with the system. Is the information system analyst, which is in charge of doing the CalPAT submissions for funding to our district. Second staff member is a system support specialist that is pretty much in charge of supporting the requests from the sites and escalate them if necessary with the vendor. And the third member is an executive assistant for Ed Services, which is pretty much in charge of also managing the system for discipline and all of that. So it's those are 3 core staff members that are pretty much have the admin right to the whole system, and as core staff to manage the student information system.
I'll second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye. 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 All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, and myself. Moving on to H3, professional development for 5 district administrators to attend the National Summer Learning Association summer changes.
So last year, if I'm not mistaken, there were 3 of our district administrators that attended this particular conference. And the purpose of the conference was to look at programs, at ideas, at structures in order to be able to implement those here in our district. And so I know that based on that particular conference, there was a lot of new implementation and new structures when it came to summer school programs. So this year, the recommendation is to send 2 additional, 2 additional, 5 total, to this particular conference. And each of the individuals that we're sending are key players when it comes to our summer school programs.
Who went last year?
Ms. Brisa Price?
Good evening. Last year, the attendees at this conference were Ms. Limon, Ms. Yanez, and myself. So we represented the migrant program, the EL program, and of course the after-school program. This year, what we wanted to do was include other people that are also part of the summer school planning and process, which is Mr. Lucio Padilla, Eddie Perez, and then Mr. Dennis Price, so that we can also incorporate special ed. I have some attendance numbers that kind of show how migrant still needs additional support to make sure that we keep the students for the duration of summer school. And also, technology has always been very popular, and one of the changes we made from last year to this year was we had all of our students enrolled in summer school participate in that technology portion, along with the Superhero Academy and then the BEST. And so the feedback from parents, from students, from the teachers was very, very positive. So that was the beginning of as a result of what we learned, we took away from the conference. So we want to include more to continue making improvements to our summer program.
Do we have special ed programs in the summer?
Absolutely, we do.
Any other questions, Trustee?
Well, I have just I know that we had a slow start this year with summer school. Our staff were missing materials. I think it was up to the first week of summer school, where our staff didn't have the materials.
I'm not sure which those materials were.
They were at Cesar Chavez.
Okay, we started delivering materials from the beginning, even a couple days before summer school started. They were at the site. So in terms of the superhero program and the enrichment portion of that program, which I do have control over, my assistant and I were in constant contact with staff through email, phone calls, WhatsApp, requesting material supplies lists. So I'm not exactly sure which.
Well, I mean, the only reason, because I sent an email to Mr. Gonzalez about it, but with that said, I think we should be flawless when we say, a positive change in the summer school program. So I can't support the 5 administrators going. Again, I believe in professional development. It's important, but I can't send 5.
What about if we sent, what about if we sent the people that did not go last year? What about if we just sent special ed and technology? I think technology needs to be, technology didn't go last year, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
When-
Technology did not
Oh,
attend.
yes, where are you? Oh, you guys didn't go last year? Because I think of summer school with summer school, the students need to be involved with technology. So what about if we just send those 2, the ones that didn't go last year?
I would motion to do.
One thing that I also have to mention is that I think I asked to go to Baltimore earlier in the school year for the New Vision for Summer School networking team. And so they usually have 2 annual meetings. One of them was in Baltimore. The second one is going to be the day of the conference. So actually, hotel and travel and conference also get reimbursed from the National Summer Learning Association for me because
That
I
is
am.
just one.
That's just one.
So we can send 2 more. That's what Mr.
So you're recommending.
Why
send
motion
how
to
many?
send 3 administrators to this training?
I will second
Well,
that.
because one is already getting paid for.
Yeah, and then a special ed, and sorry for pointing, special ed and technology.
So there's a motion by Mr. Calderon Jr. Need a second?
I don't know, ask the president.
That's fine, go ahead. Yes.
Sorry for pointing.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for considering at least sending 3. It was a very, very good conference. I work together with Mrs. Ramirez, and we work together in writing up the MOU. So I work together with the unions in authorizing and working with them contractually into what migrant, like my staff, what they will be allowed to do, and what we're going to look at curriculum-wise and so forth and so on. And this year, we went with the program that the county prescribed. And so we would like to incorporate our students into the regular summer school program. And so I did work together with Brisa, and I worked together with Mrs. Ramirez to develop the new program, which is now the students go to 3 different sections. And I also visited Coachella, and they actually go through 5 sections, so the kids go through 5 different sections. And so what this conference does is that it gives us a really good idea as to other ways, other methods that we could develop with the students. And so I know you're only considering 3. I would like to be considered as well, considering that my program is a small program during the summer, and it is small because I'm constantly having to work with families that leave. And so I would also like a very structured program for them, a well-developed program for them, and this conference helps me develop those ideas. It's just something for you to consider.
I would also like to add, I had the handout that I just passed out. This has the attendance numbers for the last 2 summers. So the bottom, the chart at the bottom, it shows attendance by the elementary, the middle, and the migrant students. And so you see in June how many kids started the summer school, and then how many actually finished the summer school, and then how many students dropped, and the percentage of that enrollment. So if you look at the bottom for summer school attendance of 2017, we had, with the significant drop in middle school, and I do want to point out that that school year, Willie Moreno had the summer academy, had a summer academy retreat that was 2 weeks long. And so that looks like a very high percentage, but some of them only intended to go to summer school for those 2 weeks. Now, if you look at the one for 2018, you notice that the change, less students dropped. And you can also notice that there was a higher enrollment rate at the elementary, middle, and for migrant summer school. So the enrollment was higher this summer than it was last year. We also were able to maintain more students throughout the summer, so they stayed with us, with the exception of the migrant students. And with that, there are certain things that, as a population, migrant students tend to travel. Usually, migrant parents tend to travel during the summer because they don't want kids to miss out during the regular school day. And in order to qualify as migrant student, then you have to travel for work purposes at least once every 3 years. So most of the parents travel during the summer so that it doesn't affect the student performance during the school year. So there's a need to see how can we keep students longer, or those that start summer school that stay till the end of summer school and then go on to move. But this is just some information for you.
Thank you. I still stand by mine. And the superintendent can make a decision who goes. Ms. Brisa's already going on another conference, so that's taken care of.
And I second that.
Oh, there's a quick question.
I'm just gonna, as you're talking, just a simple question. Look at the conference. My question is, so what? So what attendance in this conference last year? So what difference did it make in our summer school program this year?
So in past summers, we've competed against each other. So we had Migrant competing against the Superhero Academy, against the Technology Academy, against the BEST program. So we were competing for students. What we did this year as a result of going and listening to new ideas and see how we can better integrate our programs and also increase enrollment is that we gave everybody an opportunity to participate in all 3 components of the program. And just if any of you were at the showcase day and talking to students and talking to the parents and even talking to the teachers, they were really happy with this integration because then the teachers had more students, but they also were able to switch. The kids were really happy that they got to try 3 different things. And they just really enjoyed summer program. And as you can see, they also stayed in the program longer. They did.
Well, thank you. So there's a motion by Mr. Calderon. Just for clarification purposes, it's approving for 3, correct? That was your motion?
3 and 3.
And Brisa Price is already covered, so it's 3, correct? Plus additional, she's already covered, so she's good to go, right?
Ms.
Including
Brisa,
her.
Price, and 2 others.
And 2 others? Okay. So that's the motion so far, and it was seconded by Calderon.
Not discussion, you said, okay, it's 3, and Mrs. Price, her thing is gonna be reimbursed. So, 3, so it's not 3 plus 1,
No, it's 3 total.
3 total.
So there's a motion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those against?
Against.
No. I vote no. So no and no. So the noes have it.
This is being paid by ALCAP, and we want to send the special education and the technology. I move that we send the 5 people as listed.
So there's a motion for the 5 to be sent. Motion by Romero, seconded by Castillo. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
What I'm gonna make a motion for now is gonna be for the same as last year. It's for the 3 plus a covered. Brisa's you're covered, so it's gonna be 3 plus yours is already covered, so it's gonna be a total of 4. That's my motion.
Yeah, what was the?
Oh, so it was that last one? It didn't pass. It was, I think, just 2 in favor and the 3 were against. The previous one, yes. But the new motion that I'm making right now is for the same number as last time, which was a 3. Brisa's is covered, so that's gonna be a total of 4 that are gonna be sent.
And have
So-
the city, the superintendent decide who's gonna go.
Correct. So there's a motion seconded by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Romero?
Aye.
Aye. So it's passed 3-2. In favor is Romero, Castillo, myself. Against is Mr. Calderon Jr. Moving on to I, information items. I-1, Superintendent's Report.
There we go. All right, so we had our certificated and classified staff in attendance for our Welcome Back today, which was held at Calexico High School at Varner Gym. It was wonderful to see our staff full of energy and excited about the start of the new school year. We had an amazing keynote speaker, Ms. Pernell Rip, who gave a very passionate address to all of our staff on creating the best environment where our students learn best. I want to thank our staff, a lot of them are here, for putting together a highly structured professional development day. We had trainings offered by outside agencies, by neighboring districts, by our own staff, very highly qualified staff, trainer of trainers. The professional development day was a total success. We had staff that chose to attend 3 of the different sessions, and so it was set up kind of like in a conference style. We received many compliments regarding the quality and the rigor of the training being offered, and we received excellent feedback when it came to the keynote speaker. Again, I want to thank our team for doing an incredible job. This has been a huge undertaking, a huge task, which has required a lot of organization, a lot of planning, a lot of moving forward from not only the district office staff, but the various departments throughout our district. And so I just want to, again, give a shout out to all of our staff for giving such a comprehensive welcome back keynote and professional development day. And I know that other agencies and other districts are looking at our professional development day as a model, to look towards. So that is a, wonderful feedback that we're receiving. So kudos to our staff. Pool update. We received an email from the city thanking us for getting the summer school program, the summer pool program going. And they were very happy to report that a lot of community members took advantage of the opportunity. The last day the pool will be open will be today. So if you want to go to the pool, today is the last chance to go. Yeah, so it was a
time they close?
great summer. What time they close? I think 9 o'clock. So we still have time.
It was interesting to see. I got to see the water aerobics and
Yeah.
to see the
Yeah.
participation from our community. So
Yeah, it was excellent. Just upcoming activities, we have teacher check-in tomorrow. Then we have CSEA orientation from 1 to 3 p.m. And then we do have SARP training taking place tomorrow from 8 to 12. Our principals and our clerks are training on that. And the big day is right around the corner. It's on Monday. So everybody is excited. As you could see, a lot of the energy today from staff. A lot of our parents, I know, are anxious as well to get the first day started. But our students, are very excited. We did have a football game against Kearney last Friday, and we were kind of contemplating if a lot of students were going to show up. And man, the stands were completely packed. It was a full house, and Mr. John Moreno can attest. It was just like a regular football game, and I think a lot of it is attributed to, our kids wanting to be with other students and socialize. So it was a great activity. So I know our students are ready to come back as much as our staff is as well, and we will be assigning different district staff administrators to the different sites to provide support as needed. So Monday will be an early release day for our students. So looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you. I-2, Measure V update.
So thank you for the opportunity to come tonight and give you an update on our current projects. So we'll start first with the parking lot improvement project. So good news is the product looks really good. The part that's been completed looks outstanding. I know the board had a vision to really beautify, not only to make the parking lot functional, but to beautify that whole area. And if you've been in the area in between the softball field and the baseball field leading up to the gymnasium, all that hardscape's in, the landscape's in, the concrete benches are in, the basis for the lights are in. It really looks nice. And so they're working their way out. They are, however, 4 weeks behind schedule. So they were scheduled to be completed on August the 27th. And one of their subcontractors, the concrete contractor, did not properly man the job for about a month. And so they're behind. And so the backup plan is the school will continue to use the existing parking lot. That parking lot's in place. And then the contractor will continue to finish up. Now with that project, I think has been asked about if there's any penalties, and there's liquidated damages for $500 a day, and so the contractor, the general contractor is going to pass that on to his subcontractor.
When is that litigation or liquidation?
It starts
28th?
August the 26th. That was the scheduled completion date.
No, that, you said $500. We were under the impression that it could start at $500, but it was up to us to determine how much money per day we were gonna charge him. It says $500, that we could start at $500, but I don't remember we saying that it was just gonna be $500.
Well, it had to be in the contract, right?
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract,
Yeah,
only
that's something,
$500?
yeah, that's something that we stated, though, that we're gonna start looking into that, and it's totally gonna change. That $500 is not gonna be a $500 limit no more.
For future
We're gonna go in for future projects.
Yeah, you can certainly do that if that's what you want to do.
It's unacceptable.
I think we made it clear that we didn't want another Measure J.
And it's not a good start. So, I mean, we even haven't started with the bigger construction projects. So I hope it's not the same as this other smaller project.
Yeah, I would say I think we're all disappointed that they're not going to complete it on time, but instead of it finishing up on August 27th, a month later, it's going to be a great project that will last for the next 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah, but the main point is we're behind schedule.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Phase one,
This is just phase one, right?
item one.
Well,
Or not even, it's not even a phase.
Yeah, I would point out that the parking lot project is totally independent of the modular building project. So the fact that the parking lot project is a month behind does not mean that the modular building project is also a month behind. Yeah, they're moving on separate parallel paths, right?
Yeah, but it's
Total-
still impacting us.
Total cost of the project for this one was how much, Mr. Sanders?
I believe it was right at 1.6.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
$500 equates to 28 days, $14,000. So I think we need to start looking into doing a certain percentage, something like this goes over again, because you know what, this is unacceptable. And as far as I'm on here, I'm not gonna allow that to happen. If this continues one more time, then we'll take it from there. But I'm not gonna allow this to happen any longer.
And I agree with President Alvarado, because going back to what they're saying, these residents of Calexico, Mr. Moreno, Elisa, and all these people, they still remember Measure J. Okay, and this little hiccup, they remember, because what happened back then, it's gonna bring memories about what's happening now. Okay, so no, I'm not happy about this. We were expecting a fully functional parking lot, and what did we get 2 weeks ago? Oh, it's not gonna be ready. Like President Alvarado says, it's 14,000. How much? $14,000.
14,000.
Yes, from 1.5 million. You think that? honestly, I'm gonna say it, do you think they're gonna care? No, so, no, I'm not happy about this, so, I'm sorry.
I had asked the superintendent if you could provide us a timeline as to what's going on so we can let the public know. In fact, I recommended to our superintendent that we should blow up the timeline and put it on that wall to make sure that we, as the board members, know what's going on, and so does the public. Anytime they turn that camera on, they'll see the timeline. I think we owe it to our community to be transparent.
Yeah, okay. The contractors provided a revised project schedule, and I can send that to the superintendent tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I3, Association Comments, ACT. CSEA. I4, ROP Committee. Thank you. I5, Board Reports, Mr. Romero.
I'd like to welcome everybody back to another school year, even the people that are here have never left. But welcome back, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Mr. Calderon.
Just like Mr. Romero saying, welcome back, everybody. I know you guys, some of you guys have been here in all board meetings, so thank you. I went to the presentation today at the high school. It was really nice. Okay. Bless you. I would like to congratulate everybody in our district that participated in making this event happen, because it was really well prepared. I didn't see any faults on the event today. Everybody knew where they were supposed to go. They knew, the presentations went on as they were supposed to be. So congratulations to everybody that put this event together. So technology, really good job at the sound system in the gym. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calderon. Calderon Jr.
I have to echo the same. I was there this morning, and kudos to our staff for getting this ready. I know it takes a lot of work and a lot of things behind the scene to get it to function. Now I know that we need a new cafeteria, because if you would have gone to the cafeteria, it was like, I mean, really tight. So again, Carlos, thank you for putting that on, and then welcoming all our staff. I think, like Mr. Calderon said, it went flawless. Everybody had an idea where they were doing, and I think that means a lot. And again, thank you, and thank to all the staff, from administrators to classified to certificated. Welcome again, and hopefully we can make it a good year.
Thank you. Mr. Castillo.
Along the same lines, ditto. I think you're gonna hear it a lot. Passionate learners, professional development, very well run. A lot of people working behind the scenes, we know that. We appreciate everything that's happening. Some of the comments I did hear, all very positive. Just talking to the presenter, Ms. Rip, you know, she's travels across the country doing different events like this, and she couldn't say enough about, I think, just this format, organization for staff development, conference style. And, you know, from an outsider coming into our district, saying that it was very professional, well-run, and that it should be a model that's replicated and disseminated in other parts of the country, I mean, that says a lot for someone who's a visitor to our district. So again, congratulations to everyone for putting that on. Participants, a lot of positive comments as well. One teacher shared, don't let this be a one-day event or topic, you know, a shotgun PD. Administrators keep bringing back the topic, keep referring to the book and the content that was covered. Don't let it just disappear after the first day. You know, just keep bringing it back so they hear it and hear it again. Football game last week was good. It was nice to see the stands full, large numbers. We just got to get the score up next time. But it was a great event, and again, like Mr. Gonzalez said, I think the students are ready to come back because they were there to socialize, to see each other. On a Friday night, there's not much happening in Calexico, but they were here filling up the stands. So that's what we like to see throughout the season for our community. And thank you, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. As for me, I wasn't able to attend due to some work schedule. With that said, I apologize. I want to thank everyone, though, for attending, all classified employees, certificate employees, and administrators. Special thanks to the person that put this, well, all staff that put this together, because I've been hearing nothing but good things about it. I did speak a little bit in regards to it with Lucio before, and I was hoping to make it, but due to a work conflict. Another thing that I wanted to also state is that what's going on out there, I was excited to have a new parking lot for our students, for staff. But with that said, going to move forward. I do want to let you guys know that that's not going to be going on here any longer. As long as I sit on this board, I'm hopefully sharing the same sentiment as everybody else. This will no longer happen here. With that said, just welcome back, and, you know, let's, I believe in all you guys and what you guys are doing. Let's just all do it for the students, because that's what we're here for. Thank you.
You know, President, I got one more comment. I think what made it unique this morning was this lady actually is a teacher. She's boots on the ground, lives it every day, and I think that experience is what made that presentation excellent. So, and again, other staff are there, but I think that's what brought in our staff. So, thank you.
Thank you. J, discussion, possible action. J1, Fiscal Crisis Management Assistance Team, FICMAT, study for Calexico Unified School District.
So bringing this kind of to the attention of the board here for consideration, discussion and consideration. And this was, let me see, where are we at? Okay, possible action. So again, FICMAT, organization here in California, well-known, well-respected, basically stands for Fiscal Crisis and Management Assistance Team. They've got a pretty comprehensive website. Our district and other districts across California have used their services, a number of their services in the past. Calexico has used it a couple of years ago in the sense of having them come in and do kind of an external review of our programs, our services, our personnel, and providing comments, feedback, recommendations. So it's a service that they offer to help districts kind of analyze their organization, their structures, looking for areas for improvement, recommendations that they can consider, or the board would consider, to come back to us, in a number of different areas. They look at business services, transportation, grounds, administration, special education. Those are just some of the, and technology. Those are some of the services they offer. And I think looking at our district at these times, as we're changing, evolving with our administration, our board, I think we're at a point where we're ready to kind of revisit. And I'm thinking, suggesting that we take advantage of a review, have them come in to look at our maintenance and transportation, maintenance office or maintenance department, transportation, and even looking at our district office administrative structure. And just get their opinion, come in and consult with staff, review, and provide recommendations. Generally, they'll come in, they'll bring experts, either superintendents, assistant superintendents, CBOs from across California. They'll come in, meet with staff, personnel, interview them, observe, look at forms, procedures, and generate a report that they'll present to the board. So I bring this for discussion or possible action for consideration, just to help our district, help the systems we have here to improve and move forward productively.
When was the last time we had one? Have we had one?
Calexico's had one. It's probably been 10 years.
10 years? What's the cost involved?
Well, I think we probably need to contact them because costs can
Okay.
change depending on what we're asking for.
I think with the findings, we'll probably make up the money right away. Because either we'll improve our system or delete some of the system.
How long does it take? Well, depending on, I know it's depending on the services. So what is it that we're looking for? Are we looking for like a full package? They're gonna come to maintenance, fiscal services, operations? Is that what we want? I mean, I would like to see,
Right.
if they're gonna come, I would like for them to come and do the whole thing.
They're usually here for about a week, depending
Oh,
on what they're
really?
looking for. Yeah, they do extensive, in-depth study.
Okay.
So depending on what the services you're asking for, that will determine the length of days, but
Okay.
generally about a week.
Okay.
Since the last one was 10 years ago, I would definitely support it.
I think it's long overdue.
So you want to make a motion? If not, I'll make a motion to go ahead and,
I'll second.
so a motion to go ahead and look into, bring this over, second by Calderon Junior. So it was a motion by myself, seconded by Calderon. All those in favor, please state
If I
aye.
can clarify
Aye.
before, so your motion is to reach out to them, to get a quote
Could a
or
quote come in and give
services,
us, correct,
and then we can come back for action if we want
Yes.
to proceed or not.
Correct.
We need to know what's going to cost.
So Carlos will make the contact?
And the two that I heard, just for clarification, is maintenance, operations, transportation, and admin office or admin services.
And let me clarify, it's not that, I don't think we're saying anything's wrong happening, there's no wrongdoings, but we're looking at how can we improve our
Yes.
systems
Correct.
and procedures there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like for them to come and see, to give us a full picture from an outsider and let us know how is it that we're doing. So talk to them about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
so all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K, action items, consideration and action approval of the following items. K1, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Department of General Services, Air Resources, DGS, for premises lease.
So this one is to move the air quality control trailer that is here by the parking lot next to the Personnel Commission. And that would be moved over to M&O, where the CNG pumps, I think, were located before. And that is no cost from the district, from what I understand, right? It's being paid by the Air Resources, General Services for Air Resources.
Second.
Motion by Calderon Junior, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K2, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Landmark Consultants Incorporated for engineering services.
This is a 2-year agreement for Landmark to provide services when it comes to soils and materials engineering, faults and seismic studies for construction materials testing, and I think they're the only ones that have a local office here.
Right.
This is the only agency that exists that does this type of.
Correct, that I'm aware of, yes. Jeremy? Yep.
And it has to be done every time we have to do something, construction has to be done, right? Okay.
I'll second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K3, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Silver Creek Industries Incorporated for Calexico High School's 12 and 16 classroom modular buildings.
So the board awarded the bid to Silver Creek Industries. What this is now is the agreement for the building of those modular buildings at Calexico High School.
I move we approve.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K4, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Jensen Hughes Incorporated for security surveillance consultant services.
So what this particular surveillance consultant company will do, they'll go to the different school sites and basically give us a comprehensive plan. There's LCAP monies that are set aside for the surveillance cameras already. There's $180,000 that's been allocated so far, but this is the first phase. And what this will do is give us a plan, so that way we can move forward and start installing those security surveillance cameras.
So for 46, they're gonna come and just do a study, or are they gonna start putting cameras in schools?
That is, phase 1 is for submittal of the proposal for evaluation and for the recommendation of the security surveillance project.
And that's the only company that did it?
That I'm aware of, yes, that's the only company that bid.
46 for
Oh, somebody is here from the company, I'm sorry.
John Tisdale with Jensen Hughes, he's a consultant. Here to answer any questions you may have, if possible.
Yeah, we need to, on the mic.
So maybe as you're walking, one question, what would this report entail? What's the analysis that would be provided?
Well, the report and the analysis primarily is we do a full survey of all your school sites, your administrative buildings, for security vulnerabilities, your existing systems as far as cameras, access control also, and then make a list of recommendations with estimated costs for construction for your consideration. The idea of doing the study phase first is so you know where your vulnerabilities may be, so you can make informed decisions as to where you want to place the funds first, second, and third. There are some recommendations that would be immediate for your consideration. Other recommendations may say we'd recommend they be due within a year or two, and others might be a 3 to 5 year plan. The idea is to better target your weakest points or your most vulnerable spots, and to do that we need to do the complete survey of all the locations and your operations for those surveillance projects. We're also incorporating, as I said, not just the surveillance but the access control, which is your card reader systems, your pass systems and things of this nature, so that we can make in the future look towards a unified system, so that you have better control over who has access to your facilities, who has access to different areas. All these would be recommendation forms for per site, and in possible general recommendations for the district as a whole. And as I said, with estimated cost, gross order estimates of the construction cost to install it and everything. And we do not do the installation. I want to be very clear on that. We're consulting engineers only, so I have no vested interest in whether I recommend 1 camera or 1,000. It's a matter of what would be appropriate for the application, and then we would work with the district to create bid documents in phase 2 that would allow you to get appropriate bids from integrators, and then we can also offer services in phase 3 of your installation to provide you the third-party technical expertise to verify that the systems are installed properly, that they function properly, and the systems are meeting the requirements that were laid out in phase 2. That's essentially what the study's for. And rather than the original RFP that was asked for, RFQ and RFP was to provide you a proposal to do the survey, then the design documents, and then the construction of services. And upon review and discussions with the USD, we recommended that they do phase 1 only to start with, so they know what phase 2 and phase 3 would entail, rather than start a project without having any information or indication as to how deep this project may run or how much it could cost you in the long run. That was the purpose of this study.
Phase 1 is 46,000.
Yes, sir. Phase 1 consists of basically a kickoff meeting, which is standard, so that we can meet with the parties involved, the ones that have input for us, interview appropriate personnel. Then we spend with 2 to 3 consultants. We spend approximately 1 week to 6 or 7 days on going from site to site. We review all the school locations. I believe you have 12 school locations and 3 others. Each one is reviewed. Then we go back, we assess what we have found, create the documents, do what we call a whiteboard session, where we run it around the table with our consultants and our engineers to determine the best way to approach some of these things, and create a draft report for you, which you would receive for comment and questions, and before we do a final report. And that's what it all involves.
Which districts have you serviced?
We've done multiple districts, not only in California but in other states. Santa Clarita, I've done designs for their surveillance systems. City and County of Oxnard, for those those are ones that are fairly common. I've done Long Island, New York, Massapequa School District. That's a few I can think of off the top of my head. But we do a lot of, it's becoming more and more prevalent that the schools are, as the gentleman said, there's grant money and requirements coming down from the federal government, so we're doing more and more of the analysis first before they go into the designs. I can get you a list from this company. I mean, I've been involved in several, and then we have, as I said, I'm not the only one involved here, so we have districts and schools. We've done both K through 12 and higher education across the country. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys also going to take into consideration the new buildings that are going to be put up at the high school and all that also as well? When
This
you guys
would
are
be
going
part of
through
the inquiries at the beginning. In other words, that's where the interviews come in, and part of the kickoff. Plus, if you look at the proposal, it was we'd be requesting documentation about any new construction that's going to be done, any policies, procedures that you're operating under now, any specific guidelines or requirements or requests the board or the school district may have, so that we can incorporate all of this. And yeah, we would want to know any additional buildings being built within the next 3 to 5 years, something this way that we can pre-plan it, that if the system is, when the system is installed, it can now accommodate it, and it has the size and the capacity to accommodate whatever you may add to it in the future.
I'd like to table it. I need a little more information. That would be my recommendation. Just table it. I like to table this item for further research and so forth. I don't know how you feel about it.
You want to make a motion to table?
Yeah, I'm motion table.
There's a motion to table, item K4, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. K5, the agreement between Calexico Unified School District and New Zealand to support social studies teachers with reading and writing annotations on assignments.
I move we approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K6, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Pure Water Technology for drinking water dispensing services at district office.
I move we approve.
Just one question. Is this gonna be, this service is also gonna be offered to the other school sites? Because I know there's other school sites that buy water.
Correct.
So I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, if other school sites are interested into
They can include.
going into an agreement, they can do the same thing.
Oh, they have to pay it out of their own.
Yeah,
Right,
the
it's by
budget.
site, yeah,
Okay.
they have their own budgets.
Oh, okay.
But Sparklets delivers to other sites
Correct.
too, correct?
All second. Motion by Romero, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K7, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education Support Services Department for nursing LVN services 2018-2019 fiscal year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Calderon, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K8, approval of modification in existing Calexico High School courses for elective credit to A through G credit.
I move to approve, and I would like to congratulate whoever came up with this idea, because if you look at the electives that are now becoming A through G electives, it's a good list.
I'll second. So motion by Calderon, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K9, approval of 2 new AP courses to Calexico High School for the 2018-2019 school year and inclusion to the CHS course catalog.
I move we approve.
Second.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K10, approval of intermediate fire science course for Aurora Continuation High School.
I like, well, before,
course.
I have some questions. I don't know. What have we done to get this going or preparing for this pathway?
Absolutely. So I know there's been a lot of work, and I know Mr. John Moreno is here that can answer on it. And so I know that when it comes to CT courses, this is something that he's been very interested in offering at Aurora. There's other CT courses that are there, and he can explain more in detail, but we believe this is a course that our students would highly benefit from at Aurora.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board. Years ago, when I was a vice principal at Calexico High School, we had a fire science course there. It was run by the late Art Navarro, who was a fire captain with the City of Calexico Fire Department. Then we had one ROP CTE course that was run by Mr. Wee. He passed away. It was a desktop publishing class when I got there. And then I did the legwork to get the law enforcement class, which Mike Davis has turned into an outstanding program at Calexico High School. At that time, the superintendent had moved Mr. Davis to the high school to teach 3 periods and 2 periods at our site, and then eventually he moved him over completely. So we had an opening. We opened for English. This year we have an opening. And we last year surveyed the students through a career locker survey. And the top careers that they were mostly interested in was medical. And the second one was hospitality, believe it or not. So I looked at the population. I looked at, I discussed this with Ms. Montaño on several occasions on what would be the best for our students. And I didn't want to duplicate any particular type of course that the Calexico High School has. And although we do share our law enforcement students that go back to take the second course at Calexico High School, this would be open to Calexico High School students as well, depending on availability. So I thought that the trend here in the county, students can graduate with a certificate of this course, go on to IVC, and continue their studies there to be EMTs or other areas of the firefighting department. And also in the state of California, as we speak, the wildfires are ravaging throughout the state. And I thought this would be something appropriate, relevant for our students. So that is why we came to the conclusion of a fire science course on our site. We're very limited on CTE courses, and I believe that our students would benefit greatly. It would provide an interest to them that they probably don't know. We, as you know, being a member of the City Council, former mayor, I do have some connections with the local fire department. We do have a fire department on the west side of town, blocks away from our school, and I thought that this would lend itself readily for our students. And I think our students are ready for something like this. Any questions?
Yeah, so we have the curriculum, everything ready.
I ordered a book and I got a sample. It came to me yesterday. It is a manual on firefighting and a fire department. It's about this thick. They sent me a copy, and we're looking to order some more once it's approved. And then we'll fly the position once it's approved, and hopefully we'll have someone in there with your approval sometime in September.
Okay. And just to mention it, because I was talking to the superintendent, Imperial has a very successful program.
Yes,
so-
and I did reach out to Mr. Roger Rubalcaba just last week. He gave me some of the names of the individuals that run that particular program, and we look forward to working with them and seeing how they have been successful. I know that we can do it here. I know that we can do it here in Calexico.
Another resource is IVROP, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you've tapped into that resource.
Right.
Correct?
Right. I try to cover all the bases.
All right. Okay, that's the only questions I have.
So was there a motion?
No, not yet.
I move we approve.
Oh, okay.
So motion by Romero, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K11, 2018-2019 consolidated application for categorical funding, Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV.
This is a recurring application, right?
Correct.
I move to approve.
Motion by Calderon, second by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K12, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset office, student furniture equipment, and adult basic education and district office.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please.
Risk-
Oh, sorry about that. Roll call. Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Calderon,
Yes.
Calderon Junior,
Yes.
Castillo, myself, yes. Moving on to K13, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at district office, Jefferson Elementary, and William Moreno.
Second.
Motion by Castillo, second by Calderon Junior. Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Mr. Calderon.
Yes.
Calderon Junior.
Yes.
Castillo, myself, yes. Moving on to K14, first reading of revised board policy, administrative regulation, and exhibit 5125.1, release of directory information.
So move we approve.
Second.
So motion by Romero, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K15, first reading of revised board policy and administrative regulations 1312.3, uniform complaint procedures.
So move.
Second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K16, second reading and adopt revised board policy and administrative regulation 5111 admissions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Calderon, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K17, second reading and adoption of revised board policy and administrative regulation 5111.1 district residency.
So move we approve.
I'll second. Motion by Romero, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K18, second reading and adoption of revised board policy 5145.9, hate motivated behavior.
So move.
Second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K19, second reading and adoption of revised board policy 5131.2, bullying.
So moved.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Junior. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. K20, second reading and adoption of revised board policy and administrative regulation 5145.3, non-discrimination harassment.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. K21, second reading and adoption of revised board policy and administrative regulation 5145.13 response to immigration enforcement.
So
Oh,
moved.
okay, yes, yeah, and I second, yes.
So motion by Romero, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K22, second reading and adoption of revised board policy and administrative regulation 5125 student records.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Calderon Junior, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K23, provisional internship permit for certificated personnel, Jeanette Cleek Figueroa, for the 2018-2019 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Calderon Junior, second by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to K24, provisional internship permit for certificated personnel, Renato Montan Junior, for the 2018-2019 school year.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Calderon Junior, second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. K25, 2018-19 designation of CIF representatives to league.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Calderon Junior, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor, Romero, Calderon Junior, Castillo, myself. Moving on to L, reconvene to a closed session. It's 7:30, so we still got an hour and a half before they close the poll.